For the first time, we have nothing to say. Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you.
What?
The center row in the airplane was empty, and I just got lucky and had the whole row to myself. And it's not every day you can toot on an airplane and nobody smells it.
Amy.
Well, wait. They may have smelled it.
Did somebody look up around?
Nobody kicked my seat.
Was it really smelly?
I don't know. I had my mask on.
Well, they all had their masks on too, so then they couldn't smell it. Maybe if you can't smell your own, well,
I
most
hope
of the time
they
you
had
can't
their
smell
masks on.
yours. Amy, they did. I'm sure of it. It was a rule. You can't get kicked off
That's
the
right.
plane if you don't wear your mask.
And they told us 5 times before we took off, before we went on the runway, when we're on the runway, when we're up in the air until the first soda. They reminded us that we signed and hit accept to wearing our mask all the time in the airport until you get back to your own house or something. Or you
need
will
your
be
readers
thrown
on
out.
right now?
It's foggy.
It is really?
Yes,
Amy.
my eyes are
okay, put
terrible.
your readers on then, your granny glasses. At least they match your sweater.
Good thing.
Look at my new little hairs.
Oh my God, Debbie. They're all like white, like the end of a Q-tip.
Don't tell me they're white. At least they're
Okay,
growing
they're
back.
They're gray.
They're nice and silver. They're pretty. They're a beautiful silver color.
And they like help your hair stay thick if you just, because those silver ones are wiry.
I'm trying a new shampoo that's making my hair start to grow back a little bit. It was getting falling out all over the place from fasting and
Don't tell people
menopause
that.
and all that.
Rogaine for women. Is that what the shampoo is called?
No, it's like something that has door, like gold, something in it. I don't know. I'll have to put it in somewhere.
I like your Q-tip head. That's good.
It's not quite the same.
I didn't.
Here, it has to go like this. You make the thing and I'll make the noise. The sound effect. Ready?
That was pretty good.
Hello, everybody.
Oh my goodness, it's been so long. Actually, we have recorded since we've been together, but it's been 15, well, no, not 15 months since I've seen Debbie, because Debbie came in the summertime, but 15 months since I've actually seen Mom and Dad. Now I got a hair in my eye.
Since I've been to California. You've been
Since I've been to California.
I'm probably going to have a hot flash while we're doing this. Maybe we should open the window.
Me
a little
too.
bit.
We could flash people.
I'm going to
for
hop
the
up
hot
real
flash.
fast and just open up that window right there, okay?
So let me welcome everybody. It's good to see everybody. It's so nice. We all got our vaccinations, and so it was a safe time to come. And I asked the Knitting Nana if we could share just a little tidbit about what's going on. A couple months ago, Mom was lamenting about going for her mammogram again, and she's lost 60 pounds, you guys, in this last year doing intermittent fasting. 60 pounds. So she said, well, I don't even know why they're doing a mammogram. You just lay them up there. They're like pancakes. They don't even have to squash them. They just lay out there nice and smooth like pancakes.
Oh,
so we were
goodness.
laughing about that. And she's like, I just want to get them taken off. I've had them forever. I said, well, Mom, you can go to a plastic surgeon and get them taken off. And she's, but it's probably expensive. And I'm thinking, yeah, but you probably can afford it, whatever. So no sooner than we were laughing about that a week or two later comes back and she says, well, they've seen a shadow on the mammogram, so now I'm going to have to go and get a biopsy. She says, I don't even know what they're going to biopsy because there's nothing there. It's just a pancake. So she has the biopsy, and dang, if it didn't come back positive for breast cancer. So we were a little bit sitting on edge and pins and needles for about a week after the PET scan. We got the PET scan results on the perfect day on Debbie's birthday, March 4th, and it was perfectly clear. All clear.
Best birthday present ever.
So once we got through that and past that week, Mom says, oh my gosh, my insurance is going to pay for my pancake-ectomy. And so she was so excited that her insurance was going to pay for her pancake-ectomy. So I know we don't want to make light of bilateral mastectomies because it's a big surgery and it's scary, and what our family's gone through with Wendy and surgeries. But I just came for mostly moral support and help if she needed it, and she did great. I mean, the knitting net is definitely a badass. I think
She's
she
the
stayed
strongest woman I know. I
she
don't know
stayed
about you.
overnight one night. She came home the next day. She had 2 Tylenol before she went to bed because she says, "Well, Tylenol helps me sleep." She wasn't having any pain.
Yeah.
She had these 4 drains hanging off of her. She's like, "Oh, these new pants Debbie helped me buy had pockets.
They're perfect for
they're
ball holders.
Perfect for my balls." I said, "Well, good. You've got 2 balls on one side, 2 balls on the other side." And so the last day that I was there, I said to her, I said, "Listen, I'm just going to sit here and watch you. I'm just going to be a ghost." So I watched her take a shower and get herself dressed and empty the little balls and do the measuring and up and walking around. I mean, she took 1 Tylenol, I think, the very next day.
And I could have done all that, except Amy said, "No, I have to see it from my own eyes." And it was a good, not excuse, but it was a good, valid reason to tell her work that she needed to take some time off. And it wasn't a big to do about, oh, well, it's COVID. And, it was a good reason to
I
come
basically didn't need my work's blessing, but I didn't want them to say,
they're not going to fire you. How many years have you been with that company?
Too long.
How many?
17 years.
So she's a very valued employee.
So when we found out that she was going to need surgery, I let my immediate boss, one right above me, know that I'm going to have to beat feet when I get the word the surgery's scheduled and I have to go. And she says, "Just do what you have to do." So that's what I did. So I spent a little time with Mom and Dad for a few days. And like Dad says, fish and family are the same. In 3 days, they start to smell. So I left when I was starting to smell.
I went up and picked her up when it was her time to come and visit me.
And so now I'm at Deb's for a couple days before I have to leave. So we fit in a little podcast because it just... Are you pushing down your Q-tip head? I'm proud of your Q-tip head.
Those little hairs. They just
oh my gosh, Debbie, they really do.
You don't see it normally. It's just because we have a dark background there. And it's okay. Go ahead, finish your story.
So anyway, we're having a great time. And
we are. I'll have to insert a couple pictures.
Sweater.
Yes, and I finished. Well, I think I talked about Nana helping with the sleeves last time. I don't think I put it on.
Tuck my thing in, but this is my, what's it called? Practical cardigan by...
I don't know, why is that side so short and this side is so long?
It's just the way it goes over my pancakes. Oh, mine.
No
pancakes here.
Melons
over my melons. That's opposite. Yeah, so
it's beautiful. She held 2 fingering weight yarns together. This top part has a beautiful little stellina sparkle. I think that's the woolen vine one. And then she swapped out one of the strands of the pink and added this darker pink. And she swapped out and did 2 dark pink, and then she added the red, and all the way down to this beautiful rusty color.
And it had a V-neck. This is a button band. I know it usually sits okay. You have to knit a button band at least 2 or 3 times on the same project, which I had to do it twice. But I'm not. There's no buttons or holes, so I'm just gonna. It just is perfectly warm. But the thing that I did learn, I wanted it cropped, but I think even if you hold a measuring tape from your neck to where you want something to be and say, "Oh, I have to knit 15 inches," you need to knit an extra inch to an inch and a half, because holding something linear with no curves and swells is
kind of
totally
takes it up a little bit.
Just like knitting socks, you say, "Oh, this is long enough because I said I wanted it to come up here," and you hold it up, and then you put it on, and it stretches this way and shortens it. So I think the only advice I'd have for anybody who wants to do a crop, do a little extra inch just in case.
Make sure it comes up.
So
and
Debbie,
this is my
Princess
Fiona. I think I put pictures in last time. I knit the whole body. This is La Bien-Aimée Echinesse colorway. And I had to hold a couple balls, alternating balls.
You had a little yarn. Oh, wait a minute. We must talk about yarn management. Okay, so when there's yarn management issues, what does Debbie do? She just takes it over to the Knitting Nana, and Knitting Nana finishes it. And I said,
it was too much brain power to worry about, do I try and alternate the 3 balls or just the 2 balls? Because this sweater is actually beautifully constructed, because you pick up stitches and then you do short rows across the top of the cap of the sleeve until you get down to here, and then you start doing around and around. And I thought, how the heck am I going to do short rows with multiple colors? And I think Nana even just uses one of the balls, and it turned out just fine.
And the thing about it is, if it didn't, she'd rip the whole thing out and knit it again. my
Nana
mother would.
I'm sure she would. But
Okay,
didn't it turn
so
out beautifully?
It is incredible.
And I love the neckline on this sweater. It comes up on the sides, just plenty, and it has a beautiful little scoop.
Who created the Princess Fiona? Okay, let's talk. The practical cardigan is by Emily J Designs.
I'll look up Princess Fiona.
So that's her.
Are you in Ravelry?
Oh no, I'm on Instagram. Emily J Designs. That was the practical cardigan. Let me see if I can find.
Can you get in Ravelry? Let me see if I can get in real quick. We should have done all this secretarial stuff earlier. Oh well. Our secretaries are on vacation right now because we're on vacation. So
they are.
They don't really work all that hard.
They don't get paid for vacations, though.
No, they don't.
And they're complaining about that. I just said, yeah, blah, 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 whatever.
Princess Fiona. I'm going to find out who the designer is.
I'm trying to find the actual picture of the practical cardigan. Hold on.
Okay, here. Amy Miller.
There. Hold on a minute. One at a time. Practical cardigan. And it's knit for a worsted weight. So that's why I use 2 fingering held together. Isn't that pretty? And it's a perfect design to add any embellishment you want. Like if you want to modify
it a little bit.
Anything. Long sleeves, short sleeves, cropped, longer. Anyway,
I might use that pattern to do my striped. It's a cardigan, right? Mm-hmm. To do my, I have this beautiful heavier weight, like tan and dark blue. And I was going to do a striped, I might pull over or something, but I might do it as a
let's
cardigan.
Look at that.
Okay, so Princess Fiona is by Amy Miller. And that is
the front page.
The front page of it. I'm not very good at this.
We don't do it often.
No.
After 62 times, you think we get it down.
Look at how beautiful her little model is with the...
And going in the... stockinette. But when you have that beautiful lace on the one side, it really does keep it interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of something to... And when you're knitting from the top down, you start with just a little triangle, and then the triangle grows as you go down. It's not like you're decreasing.
And it's a little bit of an A frame, so it's like loose at the bottom.
A-line.
I'm sorry.
A-frames are houses. We don't want to be considered houses. We wear clothing, not houses.
Big at the bottom, little at the top. Some people look a little like an A-frame.
Yeah. And some are more like a hotel.
High rise.
And some are more like a motel.
Some are like a hobbit house, a bubble.
There you go.
With 2 sticks. Okay, so what else have we knit? Oh, so if you've seen me organizing my epic cardigan, my Trouville sweater. So instead of saying our mantra that we said the whole week of waiting for PET scan results, which was, we will walk in faith, we will walk in faith. And you don't know how many times, Debbie, I said that driving that week. I think couldn't think of anything else except just that.
And I just kept saying, Lord, you got this. Lord, you got this. We're just going to be patient. We're just going to wait. Lord,
but didn't you
got
say,
this.
Lord, didn't you make it a question, Lord, you got this? Or was it, Lord, you got this?
It was an exclamation.
Okay,
yes.
Exclamation. So while we're waiting for phone calls from the hospital and waiting to tell them that we weren't happy that they didn't call us and up-to-date us after 5 hours.
Okay, we're not going to go on a rant.
Okay. So I was knitting. And look what I did. I did that in 3 days.
Can you believe that,
from the
you
one,
guys? Here, put more towards the middle. Yeah.
You can point out the steek, Debbie.
The steek is right here.
So this is going to be my first steeked cardigan ever.
And she knit it exactly like the pattern. Not really. I'm just kidding.
That's a total lie. I modified it, but
every one of these things she modified.
Well,
no, you didn't modify this one.
No, I added a row at the top and the bottom.
Oh, okay. You modified this one. This one you didn't modify. This one. So the big ones you modified,
and I modified this little row
and
here,
this one down here,
and the one at the very bottom.
But that's okay. I love it. Love how it looks.
So the wrap that I sold to a complete stranger had the hot pink, the gold, and the teal. And I wanted to emulate a sweater that had those colors again. And so I dyed most of these yarns. I overdyed one of them. The gold was left over. The gold is actually sport weight. And she says in the sweater she used for the yoke different weight yarns just to give it a little.
That's amazing to me.
I know. And so then I dyed, so now the rest of it's going to be stripes. So I dyed this denim blue.
I'll hold that for you.
Thank you, Vanna. And this gray that's in this last row. So I did several stripes and I was like,
Wah, wah.
I'm not feeling it. And because I never used the denim blue up in the top, and maybe that's why. And Debbie says, well, why don't you rip back and maybe over dye the denim? And I know this looks black, but this dark and this dark up here is actually navy. It's actually a navy blue.
Our natural light is so good today.
I know.
It's
You almost
overcast
look like
and a little bit
blue.
cloudy.
And down here is navy. So I think I'm going to over dye this blue to this color navy and still use this gray. So
maybe not quite as dark, but
the stripes will be more pronounced, which
closer.
Mom always says it looks like prison stripes, but I hate to tell her they don't wear stripes anymore in prison, but that's okay. Not that I would know, but just the cop shows I watch. Maybe some do. But I think I'm going to like it more. I think I'm going to like it more.
I think you're going to like it more too.
Look at this cute bobble cast on. And that's at the sleeves and at the hem too.
That's really unique.
Isn't that the cutest?
Yeah, cute.
Let me pull up the information about the Trouvel really quick in case somebody else wants to look.
And I'll show what
I've been following
that.
I love following hashtags of.
So I finished my
socks are the bomb.
Mustache yarn Mordor socks. Oh, and they are pretty matchy, if you ask me. Match
Oh
almost
yeah, they really
exactly.
are.
And I had enough to even put in the heels. And I made these for one of my book club friends who has a size 10 women, no, size 11 women's or something.
I showed you this. This is easy.
So this is a sport weight yarn. Yeah.
A woman wears a size 11?
Yeah, she's super
she's 7 foot tall?
Yeah, she's really tall.
Ooh, wee.
And so that'll go into my little gift box for book club. And then I also messaged all of them and said, since I have, I love knitting socks and I want to try a couple different things. So who wants a hat? Who wants fingerless mittens? Who wants socks? And it'll be
Did
more
you ask
fun.
who wants a cabled coat?
No, I didn't ask.
You've got ink. Coat. Look.
Do I really?
Purple ink on your lip.
Where?
Right there.
Well, thanks for telling me.
Get closer. You'll be able to see it.
We've been playing with inks. I'll show you why I got purple ink on my face. Here, this is why I got purple ink on my face.
This is not an organized. I know. We'll talk about that in just a moment.
Anyways.
So hold on a second. So here's the Trouvel. Isn't it beautiful? By Sarah Ochera.
Dag just texted me.
And so when I was not giving too much away, I mean, you can't, unless anybody does something crazy, you're not going to be able to knit the sweater. It's a paper pattern, but each size has its own piece of paper, so you only have to print out the paper of the charts for your size. So the sizing looks like that. Okay, so that was the medium size. So what I did first was the ones that I wanted to modify, you see over here, I just made so I could see what's going on here, and I modified this last one. Sorry, I'm pointing the wrong way. And then for color coding, this is what I did. I got out some colors from Debbie's pencil box, and we just figured out how I wanted to. So we ended up actually changing this one to the bright
We had
pink.
the gray and the denim in there, and I don't think you didn't like it. This was supposed to incorporate the denim. And you did.
Yep.
You did this one instead. I like that pink. You needed to bring that pink back down and have it be by itself.
So I wouldn't say that was as much fun as actually knitting it, but it was really fun doing that and looking at it and organizing it.
She's like, ink talk?
Dag. Recording, Dag. Stop
bothering
us on the phone. Just like Mom calls us and we're like, we're recording.
So this was the second little finished object that I had because one of the gals said, I'll take some fingerless mitts and I don't really care what color. So I pulled out this Frosted Leaves colorway by Dragon Horde Yarn that I've had in my stash forever. When she saw me post it on Instagram.
Does she remember that
Yeah,
colorway?
she's like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen that colorway in forever. And this pattern is from Fairy Little, who we met.
I love how it's
Yes, you know why it's cuffed? Because if you get really cold, you can just pull it down and then you have mittens that are almost mittens and your hands can be really warm.
Who's the brilliant one that thought of that? Very little.
Very little. And I will
Oh my
pull up the.
gosh, how ingenious.
If you look on my Instagram,
it's brilliant, man. Brilliant.
I tagged her and I wrote the pattern in there.
I love
But those
that.
of you that aren't on Instagram,
They're so
I'll
light.
look them up.
But
Yes,
warm,
fingering
aren't they?
weight, and it's almost just like knitting a sock. I mean,
Oh, it's
a paid for pattern. She has a little ribbon go around.
Oh, look,
the
the
thumb.
ribbon goes all the way up.
I modified the pattern a little bit because she had this really long, and I
Oh.
was like, I don't want to be knitting ribbing forever, and I think that's long enough. And so,
I really love. So, was there any increases or just the ribbing on the thumb?
well, I'm not going to give it away.
Oh, sorry. You
It's a
will not
paper
know
pattern.
unless you buy the pattern. It's the big
But
surprise.
it's very simple. Let me tell you, it's a very simple pattern. And she also
I
puts
love
instructions in there if you
Don't have a thumb?
if your sizing is not exactly per her sizing, she just kind of
Oh.
tells you how to adjust it. It's a very clearly well written pattern, and there's no like left hand, right hand. They're both exactly the same, which is nice. You can knit them both at the
nice.
same time on your 2 at a time socks like I did, and they will fit either hand. And I think the person that's going to get them is going to love them. They're kind
Do you
of
know who's
festive
gonna
because it's
get
going to
them?
be, yes, it's going to be Christmas. And I think this is kind of Christmassy with the red and the gold and the green. I don't know. So I thought that was fun. So that's my other project. I'll
And
pull up
the wonderful thing
the name of the pattern.
The wonderful thing about mittens for Christmas in the Northern Hemisphere, it's winter all for months other than just Christmas, so it doesn't matter. You can have a different
Okay,
colorway.
the name is Dream Fingerless Mittens. It's by Marcia Healy, Healy, on Ravelry. There's my post I put on Instagram, and I tagged her. She's Fairy Little, at Fairy_Little on Instagram.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I wanted
This
to
is her. There she is. I think she has a sweater pattern coming out, too.
I wanted to show real quick the hashtag. Don't you guys love following hashtags on Instagram? If you're thinking about doing a sweater, follow the hashtag for at least a month, and it'll show up in your feed just like another person, and you'll get to see color combinations. You'll get to see it, and it may be enough, and you may end up not knitting the sweater, or it may be enough just to enable you to do that.
And to
Look
give
at-
you ideas of the colors. Look at that one right there in the middle.
Let me see.
Look at those colors. Oh, that's so pretty.
See, there's a cream and
Look at
either
black
dark
and
blue.
white
Is it black?
stripes.
I know. I didn't want it. And if I did an upper yoke with the gray and the denim, those colors with maybe black and just those
Red.
muted, that denim and gray stripes probably would be perfect.
Mhm.
And when the first thing Debbie looked at it after she saw the few stripes, she's like, "Oh, Amy, that's so good." And she's like, "Those stripes are not you." I said,
Well, I didn't really see too much of the stripes until you had already decided that you weren't quite keen on it. And when I saw
she's
it,
like,
I was
"Those
like,
stripes are me, but they're not."
yeah, it's just
you.
kind of too quiet.
Nobody likes a quiet. God, look
What'd you do?
when you can't see putting on your makeup and you have to keep putting your granny glasses on to see and make sure your eyeliner's
What do you
straight.
think is not straight? Your eyeliner?
No, look how dark my upper eye. Is that too much?
No, it's just perfect.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So I'm going to show one more knitted thing before we talk about other things that other knitters may not care about, and they can turn us off and say, "Girls, that's enough."
But we have found there's quite a few knitters in our community that have this other little side hobby that they
How interesting was that?
that they delve into. And
Pole dancing is very popular in the knitting community.
can you see my pole back there in the corner? No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's not pole dancing. Okay. So, if anybody has been following along with the escapade of Colorwork socks in Amy's feed, I'm like, "Oh, this is great. Oh, ripped it out. Oh, figured out how to do it. No, ripped it out. Third time, come on, people." So I'm calling these my Charlie Brown socks because it's got the zigzag like his little sweater, but it's because it's had a long, rough life. But it got finished. So this is, and everybody has asked, this is the Tang colorway from Cassie Blue Sky Fibers. Oh my
Blue
God.
Sky-
No, Blue Sky Fibers.
Blue Sky Yarns? Blue Sky.
Okay, wait a minute.
Open Sky? I always get Open
No,
Sky.
not
Blue
Open.
Sky. Blue Sky. Okay, I'm going to search her.
Okay, Cassie, since we totally wrecked that,
Sorry,
we'll
Cassie.
make sure we get that correct. This was from Miss Babs. It was one of the colors from the Advent that I got a couple years ago. And this is just not undyed. This is just bare yarn. Okay, fingering weight. So if you can keep up, I will tell you the what do you call that?
That's Blue Sky Fibers, and that's not her.
No, not Blue Sky Fibers. Blue Sky Yarn Co. I think it's Blue Sky Yarn Co. Yarn. Oh, dark. Hey, hang on a minute. Now that's going to make me mad. Let me look at my Instagram because I tagged her. Hold on. Oh, people. I'm sorry we're everywhere, but it must
We're not
happen.
we haven't practiced this in a while.
Well, it doesn't matter. We don't know what we're doing anyway most of the time, even when we do practice.
We're just crazy sisters. That's okay. She's going to find it in her Instagram. You didn't?
Yes, people are asking me what colorway it was. Big Sky Yarn Co.
I know it wasn't
It
something having to do with Montana.
It starts with a B. That's close enough.
Oh,
God,
Cassie,
it's got Sky.
she's crazy.
Big.
So, this is her. Big Sky
Yarn Co.
Yarn Co. She's got beautiful yarns.
Okay, Tang. Colorway. Okay, so get ready. If you need to write down the recipe for these socks, because I'm not going to write a pattern for it at this moment in time.
She's got beautiful yarns.
Okay. Get a little Post-it note and a pencil or a pen. So this is how I do mine. I use, 9-inch circs for when I'm just doing stockinette. I use US 2. So what I did was I did US 2, 60 stitches cast on for 2x2 rib.
That almost looks like the colors that are in
Tang,
but she just mixed them all together in one.
There's a little bit of green too.
Oh, Cassie, that's beautiful.
So then I switched to a US 3. I increased to 66 stitches to do the color work. The color work is a 6-row repeat. 1 at the tip, 3, 5, 1 whole row.
Are you all taking notes? I think you need to write it down.
And
Put it in your Ravelry page.
No, that's homework. and my secretary's on vacation. So when I got down here, I got it back down, and I actually changed needle size back to 2, and I went down to 56. I usually don't do 56. That's more Debbie's. So
no, 64.
Okay, 2 on US 2 though. US 2, 2x2 ribs, 60 stitches. US 3, 66 stitches. Back to US 2, 56 stitches. And I bet you wonder what happened down here. I didn't switch back to a US 3 because it's not like you have to get it over your ankle. You don't.
Over your heel.
You just have to get it over your little monkey toes, right? So these were, I asked you, I kept the same needle, but I went up to 60.
No, I don't think you increased. I don't think you did anything. I think you just knit it.
No, I don't think so. Hold on a minute. I got to color it up.
Really? You changed the number of stitches right before you did that?
Increased to 4 stitches to 60 stitches on a US 2, 1 inch before the toe to do the repeat. So I only went back up to like the same as I used the cuff, 60 stitches.
So did you increase, like you started increasing here?
No, I increased this last row.
Oh, you just spread them out across the whole thing.
Because when it stretches over your foot, you can't see.
And
then afterwards, I decreased back down to 56. Because if you do the cut in, afterthought heel with the same stitches and the same decreasing pattern, and you measure that, your toe will be exactly the same length. I decrease every other round down to 8, and then I kitchen.
8, really?
Mm-hmm.
I do like 12.
Because you have
8
fat
is
heel.
No.
So anyway, I'm going to put it on. And
so
I was
acrobatic she is.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna put it on, and then. Oh, Debbie, you would like how snug, because you usually say your socks are kind of loose.
I like my socks to stay on.
Okay, you're gonna have to help me.
Okay, don't fall
over.
Wait, it's twisted.
God, my toe.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Wait a minute. Did I knit that off? No, it's just twisted. Okay.
Hold it this way.
Can I pick your nose with it?
How pretty.
So it's like perfect.
It is perfect.
So when I knit my socks, if the heel is 2 inches and the toe is 2 inches and my foot is 9 inches, then I just knit the difference I knit 5 inches. So when you finally put it on, It shortens a little bit, but it's just snug enough. It has a little bit of negative
Ease.
Mm-hmm. So going on from that, and you do it like a stretchy cast on. Remember, if you do cuff down.
Best stretchy cast on you will ever find is the Slipknot cast on. Look it up on YouTube.
It takes a little while to practice it, but that's okay.
But it's worth it. Is that what you did here? No.
Yes.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Okay, so and it was Nana during the first go round of this color work.
It doesn't look like it. That's okay.
No, it did. You know what? It isn't. Because I had to do surgery. I had to cut off.
See what
and I had to knit top up to get this first one. But this is it.
Yes, and see,
how it goes like this.
It just kind of disappears into the top.
You can see that a lot better,
and it's totally way stretchy.
Yes. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to put in a separate little video at the end, or we'll put it in right here. Let's do something so we know where to put it in. Right here.
Okay.
As you can see, this is the right side of the sock, and in Magic Loop, you normally pull the back needle around to knit the color work and knit anything across the front needle normally. So if you're going to do Magic Loop with the inside on the outside, let me move this down so we're not confused. Your working yarn is actually now in the front, and you're going to be knitting off the back needle. So you're going to pull, I usually have the white one in my left hand, the blue one in the right hand. You're going to pull the front needle out and then start knitting off the back needle. Of course, I'm still practicing two-hand color work. These are not the slipperiest of needles.
That's a good thing, though, to not use too slippery needles. It's better. You get a little bit more of a grip, and your stitches don't slide around too much.
And the floats then will kind of go across the outside of this. See how the float is on the outside, this blue float? So it gives it, so you spread the stitches a little bit, but you don't have to spread the stitches out too far, because just the mere fact of it being on the outside of the work does give it enough room to be stretchy enough. See how I'm working on the right side, but by working off the back needle, you can also have the inside of the work on the outside. Okay, that's about how I do it. Nana says, okay, so here's Magic Loop, here's right side, okay? If your floats are on the inside of the fabric while you're knitting it, your likelihood to have your floats too tight increases, the likelihood, unless you're just really good, and I just don't do color work much. She says, flip the work inside out and knit. You're not knitting inside out. See how the floats are on the outside, and when they're stretched around the outside,
gives you more room.
It gives you a little bit more, and you can always check it, but it allows the floats to be a little bit more even. And really, when you compared, one of the times when you compared when it was done inside out and right side, you could really tell. It almost looked like it was already blocked when you knit it in this fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people cannot, they say you knit inside out.
Makes you just think you have to knit backwards or
right,
something.
You don't. You knit on the right side, but with your work inside out. So just keep watching, and Debbie will pop in the little video on how I do that.
Because you're not knitting across the front of the sock. You're knitting kind of like across the back of the sock.
Yep. So I'll show a little video
weird.
of that.
It's a little different.
Okay.
Whoa, what'd you lose?
Sorry, I lost my toilet paper roll. There's something about California this time, and I don't know if it's because it's blooming season or what, but
And she's too cheap to let me give her tissues. She has to use toilet paper because she says it's cheaper.
It is Nana, isn't it? We get that from Nana. You should have said no, sandpaper is cheaper than all of it, so I'm going to give you some sandpaper to blow your honker, okay? Okay, so Anything else we need to talk
Look
about?
at how pretty this turned out, even though it's just scrap. Look
I
at
know
how
we're
neat
not going to talk
looks.
about that right now because these people don't want to hear
Oh,
that.
that's right. Okay, sorry.
So,
She
what's
puts me in
next?
my place when I need to be put there.
Secretary showed up. Okay, so what's next is
We
don't have
drew
anything.
a winner
We did draw a
from
winner.
our last podcast comments. Her name is right there.
For the 6-year
Podiversary.
Oh, no, 5.
No,
5?
2016 to 2021. 5 years. Really?
I told you 5 years. I told you we don't know. I think it's 5
I
years.
guess it's 5 years, yeah.
Okay, so we pulled a random winner, and I'm going to hold it up. You guys ready? See, my secretary did show up. Joyce
Traveling Pearls.
Yay! Yay!
Round of applause.
So we will, I think you're on Instagram, so we will contact you for your address, and you're going to get a sweet little package.
A package from my stash of things that I've had tucked away.
Yeah.
They're from my personal stash, so it's stuff that I just know that I won't have a chance to use or knit anymore, but I really like it. That's why I bought it. So,
yeah.
But, yeah.
I'm trying to think what's next. I think you may be coming to visit Georgia midsummer.
Was I going to show if those of you that are knitting along with our mystery knit along? Should
let's
I show
do that.
mine?
Okay, so now we do not want comments
About
here
spoilers
or on Ravelry saying that we were not being good hostesses of the mystery knit along. I've already ruined the mystery knit along by posting clues 3, 4, and 5 last week when I was here in California.
You had a lot on your mind.
But I had it all set up. I had every clue on my phone ready, and I followed the one that said clue 3, and I posted. I was so excited. I said, I don't have to worry about it. And then I start getting messages, darling, you put in the whole damn pattern, don't you? And I thought, well, it's too late now. I can't take it back.
You can't, once it's in people's emails, you can't,
but the
can't
people
retract it.
The nice thing about people that posted me or messaged me, they may have been lying. They said, oh, I'm so thrilled. I got all the clues. I'm thinking, I know there's somebody out there having a kerfuffle. I can't believe
they can just decide not to look at the next one.
Okay, so fair warning, just like the pilot, wear your mask, you're going to get to see all the way through clue 3.
But the third clue has been released already, so it's really not that much of a surprise.
1, 2, 3.
You just said
this week would have been 3. Yes, with 3. No, 4. Oh.
Yeah, I think you've already released clue 3 was the one that you tried to post, and it ended up
sending all of them. And that's where you stopped
them.
after 3. Okay, so if you haven't finished clue 3, yeah, that's right.
So these are my colors from Yarn Experiments.
She's already finished through clue 3. Oh, Monica's were so pretty, weren't they?
Yeah.
Well, your colors are really looking true on the camera, really.
They are true on the camera. I think this natural light, we got lucky with a little bit of an overcast day today, and the natural light through my windows is actually really, really quite nice.
We're going to go for a massage at 1 o'clock, and then we're going to eat sushi, and I have not had sushi since starting intermittent fasting. Over a year ago, I have not had sushi.
We call it sushi.
Sushi.
Sushi. We're going to have some sushi.
Okay, so you ready? Don't look if you don't want to see. Cover it up.
Really behind.
And if you want to turn away, we'll tell you when it's all put away.
Okay.
So the stripy curling snake. I should have warned people that that's what it's going to look like initially.
And just have a little faith, people. Have a little faith. Just keep knitting.
Ye of little faith. I would not leave you with a stripy little snake for a finished end product.
Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that.
So we're not going to describe it. This is clue number 2.
Oh, yes.
Now clue number 3.
Clue number 3. Ooh, isn't that pretty? So it goes like this.
That's the top
Help
edge.
Me hold it.
Yes.
See? And can you guess maybe what's coming after this? Maybe a little bit.
Where's the thing? Jeez.
Repetition with variation. That's one of the concepts in doing beautiful art is repetition with variation. Isn't that pretty? And there's a clue 4 off the end of there, and then there's a clue 5 that does something along here.
Yes.
And helps with the curly snake.
It tames the stripy curly snake. Taming of the stripy curly snake.
So that's okay. Now I'm going to put it away. And those of you that looked away for a few minutes, you can still be listening. Okay, now you can look.
It's all away. So
you don't want to lose your.
If I see one reply or
I
one
didn't know my
post
spoiler.
about that and how we spoiled, I will private message you and call you out in front of everybody.
No.
Don't make me come over there. No, I wouldn't do that. My mother says be kind, so that wouldn't be the kind thing to do.
Yes.
So our plans coming up, like I said, you are probably going to make a little trip to Georgia.
Yes, I'm hoping to make actually a road trip. Me and Buddy
Like
might take a long road trip and come and stay for a little while and just work from Amy's house and go to the lake and float on the weekends. And yeah, can I trust
excited.
Lukey to be a bachelor at my house here back home?
No. But you can put up cameras.
I'll set up the doggy camera that I'm going to buy for Buddy, and I'll just have it on all the time.
He'll be
He
like,
won't even
Mom,
know.
I don't know how my t-shirt got up over the top of that. It was just when I took
And
it
I
off
think
and put
those
it down
ones, I think
in
you
there.
can talk through them and say, "Hey, what are you doing?"
We have those that are around our house in the ring. Like the dogs are outside, are like, Wiggy, get on our phone. Wiggy, get back in that box. And she looks around like, oh shit. She runs back in the box even though she can't see Ronnie. He's like, get your butt in that box. It's funny. You can talk to him. It scares the hell out of him, but it works.
It's like the big man upstairs looking down.
Okay, so we're 36 minutes, and Nana and Pop-Up are probably like, that's good.
That's good enough.
Perfect between Judge Judy and Dr. Phil. Enough. So if you're leaving us right now and don't want to stay for the second half of the shenanigans, we will say, if you can't be kind,
be quiet.
and we will see you next time. It may be not until the summer when Debbie's with me.
Maybe in a couple
That's okay.
months. I'm thinking about coming at the end of June, right? Middle, third, fourth week of June. So it's not that far away.
It's hot and humid starting next week, so anytime after that is fine.
I was thinking about that. Buddy is going to sweat his little turds off. I might have to get him fixed before I bring him out there.
Then he won't sweat his balls off.
He
He
won't
won't have
have
any.
any balls.
Do you know that? Wait a minute. Time out. The most recent, I haven't had a boy dog spayed in like 13 years.
I should get the little fur ball.
And they took off everything back there, hanging down back there. Do you know what they're doing now?
What are they doing now?
They're leaving the little housing unit.
They're leaving the sackaroonie?
They're leaving the housing unit.
He was just sleeping.
What's the matter, buddy? We wake you up. Did we wake you up? You smell my coffee brown.
Turn his face to the camera.
Say, look, everybody, look at me. I get a haircut in 2 weeks.
Less than that now.
And look at his little white Fu Manchu.
He is the sweetest little
Look at him.
sweet ball of
He
fur.
is the best dog.
She's just saying that because she loves
No,
him.
I thought you were just saying that. I said, yeah, I'm going to see what kind of nightmare dog puppy she's got. And he lays down. He minds his own business. You don't even know he's there. He doesn't bark well unless it's 5 o'clock in the morning. He saw
gets
Luke's
scared of little
baseball
things.
bat on the back porch, and it scared him. I don't know. It didn't fall down. It was just sitting there. I guess he just noticed.
He just noticed it because it wasn't there the last couple days. Luke just put it out there because he took it out of his truck. Luke's on a surf trip.
Baby.
So he's got long hair right now. It's just his puppy coat that I haven't cut his hair yet on his body, and it's going to be trimmed off here in another couple weeks, week and a half. He's a sweet boy.
He just learned how to go down the front 3 steps. The first time I came just a couple days ago, I had to drag him down. And then the second time, he puts his front paws, and he's like, oh. And then so now he's just, I'm not talking about you. Is that how you do it? He's such a good baby. Okay, so if you guys don't want to stay for the next little part of our
shenanigans. Non-knitting shenanigans.
and if people are like, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? Let me just pull up one thing and I'll show you. Has something sort of to do like with that. Ooh.
Okay, everybody, have a good one.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so let's get down to business and talk about our new, really
Always a good boy.
rabbit
Always a
hole.
good boy.
Debbie, go get your journal so you can show them kind of what you're doing. There are several people we have found in the knitting community who also are paper, pen, and ink journaling type people. You know who you are. There's several of them.
Ramona and Dag and Sandy by the lakeside.
And Espace Tricot.
Espace Tricot.
So we have been having a lot of fun doing paper things, and I've been an artsy fartsy person for a long time, and we watched some videos last night about just starting from the basics. So I've been just starting from the basics,
She went over. We should share her account. She went over all the basic strokes of calligraphy, modern calligraphy. And once you learn those basic strokes, you put those basic strokes together.
Did you see the kick brown fox jumps over the brown lazy dog?
Yes, that's what happens when you go really slow. You write letters and words that shouldn't be there.
You look at loops and you don't think about spelling things.
And I have been taking my new little fountain pen ink collection.
Okay, so I have like 3
Ink
different color
samples.
inks. She has like 30.
I have a bunch of samples. And I made an ink encyclopedia. If you want to see more about inks and ink encyclopedias, go and look up ferocious and pretty pens.
Okay, I'll be your secretary.
Her name is Nusha. She's got a great new little YouTube channel.
Let me pull up.
She's the one that created this ink encyclopedia idea. And I made some pages of my little collection of ink samples that I have. I have green, purple, reds, oranges, and yellows. There's Nusha. Blues. And teals. Look at that. Of course, I didn't do the right thing and leave a blank page after every beginning of color. And so now I have to repeat because I had another purple. But I don't care. It's okay. Nusha has amazing handwriting. And then I have my little pen case here that I decorated. This was in my Zentangle days when I had micron pens and white gel pens, and I did that. But I'm now keeping my fountain pens in here. So I have some fountain pens.
And 2 pencils.
And 2 pencils. And then some more fountain pens. And then I have my little...
And Dag's like, that's nothing. I got 80 fountain pens.
It's more than 80 now at this point.
I think I had 2.
Really pretty leather journal case that I bought from a guy in Taiwan, I think he's in.
Oh, it is nice.
It's called Apple Pig.
Did he chew on it to make it nice and soft like that?
You know what all these little dark spots are from? Guess what these little dark spots are from?
Poop.
No, a wet little...
Oh, oh my gosh.
Yeah, a little
It didn't come back? It didn't dry?
No. But see, that's okay. That's what makes it.
Buddy's nose.
Buddy's nose.
Buddy's nose spots.
So in here I have, I've been practicing my handwriting by transcribing songs and writing quotes.
Why don't you just hold it there and I'll turn it.
Okay. And writing scriptures. And
it's just beautiful to look at. I had to turn every page when I came.
Amy wanted to turn every page and look.
I said, if I turn a page and you're talking about something private, just tell me which one not to turn to.
No, there's no private. These are all verses.
Look how cool these different colors and different fonts that Debbie's practicing.
Blowing out for some reason. There we go. Song by Mercy Me. Another
song lyrics. And if you don't know what to write, do that. Like there's a girl that's transcribing Moby Dick.
Yeah, that's Nusha.
Just to practice her lettering.
Get to the pretty ones at the
back.
Look
at those colors. Look at that color. It's kind of a lavender.
Keep going. I got a new pen. There it is. That has
like a shimmer.
Flex nib pen that actually gives you good line variation. That's the last one. You got to go back from there. So, yeah. So I do this a verse a day, and I just practice my handwriting, and it's fun.
Yeah. So pretty.
Thank you.
And it is very, like when I was doing all these letters, it's like knitting. It's very meditative. You're thinking about the formation of the letter and how it connects to the next letter and the spacing of them and the height. And you really, to be successful with that, is to go very slowly. So it's not something that I got to hurry up and write a quick grocery list. This is a slow, precise, meditative type hobby.
This is
of sort of like knitting, except you don't have to follow a pattern, which is perfect for me. But I can modify some of the letters. So yeah, so Debbie, show that again, Deb.
I started out with these color rings, but the paper...
It all depends on the paper you put it on, because this is like hard, like almost like watercolor paper that soaks in. It's going to look different if it's on handwriting pen, like paper that you would
Yeah, really
calligraphy
good,
on.
really
The color
good
looks
paper
different.
for fountain pens is like Tomoe River paper or Clairefontaine paper, and the ink sits on top of the page and it pools and it dries that way, and so
That's
it
what
can
makes
show the
it-
sheen and the different colors better than if it just soaks into the page. But I mean, this was a good starting point to practice and do some things. But I really like how this is turning out. I think this is just
That's the good ink paper, so you can really see. And Debbie just dipped a little paintbrush into the ink well, and then she used the pen in this with the same ink to
Look
write
at
how
how
it
complex
looks
that is.
writing.
It's got pink and teal, and it's
Yes.
a purple. It's got pink and teal and
Some
blue.
of
in
them
it.
are shimmery. Find one that's got that has like firefly.
The blue, the green.
Or the
This one?
with
Oh,
the
here. Yeah, so
second from the top.
this one
You can-
has shimmer. You can see the silver shimmer, and then you can see down here. See the red sheen right here in the...
It is so interesting.
See how it turns like red?
And when it's written on a page, it sort of does the same thing with the words.
Yeah. Amy just bought this from the pen store. This is the one that she bought, this J. Herbean Diablo Mint.
Which one did I buy?
This top one.
Oh yeah, that one.
So she gave me a little sample jar of that too.
Debbie, do we dare? Do we dare?
No,
We don't.
I don't know what you're talking about. Sure, we dare.
Pick our nose in public?
No.
No, that's not what I was going to say. Do we dare put up in the Ravelry?
Oh, a
And
question
then-
to see if you like pen and ink and
Or-
writing.
yes, and or like a
calligraphy.
thread for Periscoping Sisters, a thread just for pen and ink and paper people.
Yes.
And if you want to have a pen pal to practice,
yes.
see, I thought you might want to
It's
dare.
kind of like a swap, but you can maybe we can match you guys up to have
For
a pen
pen
pal
pal.
because I've been writing to Dag and Ramona and Amy, but it's fun to write to a new person. And if you're a
But
knitter, then
nobody
you have
writes
things
to
to
anybody
write
anymore.
about, right? You can write about your latest
Let's do
project and what
that.
yarn you're using, and yeah.
but,
so
but what
write it-
about names and
Mm,
addresses?
mm.
Should we? That's
Well,
something
we
that's-
can just pair people up, and then they can find each other on Ravelry, and then they can private message,
That's a good
send a
idea.
message, and do your address through there.
Okay, so note to secretary. I'll have to call her in a little while. Note to
Okay.
secretary. Hang on a minute. Thread, rav,
Rav thread to connect
for connecting
analog letter writers. It's so nice to get a little letter in the mail,
letter.
and they don't have to
writers.
be super
Okay, so
fancy, long-winded things. Even just a little card with a couple little sentences.
I know there's some knitters who decided to hang out and see what we're talking about because knitters are nosy like that, except and no, I am too. You do not have to be into calligraphy and lettering and
No.
inking and penning. If you would
This
just
is all you need. Just get a ballpoint pen.
and a scrap piece of paper and a stamp.
Yeah.
If you want to connect on paper with somebody else within our community, come on over.
That's
and
a great
just-
idea.
You never know what it might turn
And-
into.
Paper Dag, who we talk about a lot, and you guys know her. She has a knitting podcast. She's created a separate podcast on her channel where she just talks about her pens and inks. And she has her pen and ink
And it's called
episodes.
What does it say? Is it saying
Paper Talk.
Paper Talk?
She has her Zia Studio Buzz podcast, and
Yarns
then
and
she
knitting.
has the Paper Talk podcast.
How about that? Smart, huh?
Yeah. And I think Sandy by the Lakeside did some vlogs on her journaling stuff too. I think.
You know what else she might have? She may have journal covers too. She does leather goods.
That is an awesome idea. We should contact her.
I thought my secretary was on vacation, but she certainly
She
is
put
not.
her brains on today.
Sandy by the Lakeside, if you guys like things like journals, I know she not only makes leather totes and stuff, but I think she makes stuff like that.
Does she? I know the leather she uses for her bags is very flexible and very soft, but I don't know if she has heavier duty for.
We have not podcasted since before your birthday.
We have not podcasted since before my birthday.
When did you open up your gift on your birthday? For me.
Didn't I show it on your podcast? On
We
the
have-
podcast?
we
Oh,
haven't
I haven't.
We haven't
I'm
podcasted
Jonah.
since.
Oh, let me go get it.
Debbie got a birthday present.
Ouch!
Was that your knee or your toe?
That was my ankle.
Oh. No PT. I can't do any PT this week because I'm on vacation. Sorry.
Oh, you could probably see it because I was walking across the room. Oh, well. That's just so it to you.
Oh, it's not showing the color. Well, I guess maybe a little bit.
It's a beautiful blush pink. She reached out to Hohi and made her set aside one of her beautiful journal covers. And
it was literally a little less than a week. It was maybe 6 days. And wouldn't you know, if Debbie didn't get it on her birthday, it arrived. I said to Debbie,
on the day,
I said, I bought you something. She's like, you did? I said, I can't tell you what it is. She said, okay. And I said, I have no idea when it's coming. And she's like, what? I said, I can't tell you anymore. Sorry.
I need to put a pen in here.
You do.
Put my pen in here. So this is another little writing.
Oh, it's so beautiful. It is so
I started
beautiful.
writing, transcribing one of my favorite books, Jane Eyre.
Aren't those letters so perfect?
No, they're not perfect.
And real quick about paper. There are blank journal papers, there's line journal papers, and then there's dot
grid.
I love the dot. So does Debbie. And it's like, if you go closer, Debbie.
Okay, hang on.
I'm going to show a blank page. Show a blank page first. Can you see the little dots along there? So if you come back and show them the one that it's written on, you can't even notice the dots on there when you write on it. Like after you write on it. Not that it matters anyway.
But I messed up on a page. I think I had to cross out a word. That's okay. But yeah. So again, if you want to practice your handwriting,
so Hohi's got some pretty journal covers too. In the end, so Debbie was really excited.
Oh, and it smells so pretty.
It doesn't smell like dog. Has Buddy investigated?
Buddy hasn't investigated this. It's been kept in my bag.
Debbie's got a whole big tote of all her different journals. Thankfully, you don't have to carry it anywhere.
No,
it's pretty heavy.
Yeah,
so anyway, that was all we really had to say about other things.
I'll have to insert a picture from earlier today, this morning, when we were sitting with all the stuff spread out on the table. Amy's doing her letter, and we're watching a podcast, and I'm doing my little ink drawing. And,
and then somebody said, "Why don't you just do your podcast just like that?"
I'm like, Ramona texted me.
I'm like, people would
just
scream.
do it in your bedhead pajamas. I'm like, no.
People are like, let's turn this one on. This is a bad one. So we will truly now go away. And just to wrap up, Nana is doing awesome. She's doing great. She just walks in faith, just like the rest of us. And
one day at a time. That's all we have.
Yep.
That's all we should worry about. The Lord's got the rest.
So with that, we will say goodbye, au revoir.
Happy knitting, happy writing. Sign up in our Ravelry group if you want a pen pal.
I need to do that as soon as we turn it off.
Yes, let's do that right now.
Before we do our little video.
Okay.
Okay. If you can't be kind,
be quiet. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.